Okay, so we are going to create a subpage from the general practice areas. So yesterday I showed you how to create a general practice area page. What I've done actually here is, I realized that we should probably just have these in place of the icons that we had yesterday on the home page. So we are going to scratch the general practice areas page and just have the icons here on the home page. So you have, as you'll see, this is the home page. You've got medical malpractice, personal injury, vehicle accidents, and general negligence. And then I added those in because those are going to be, the general categories. And then underneath of it, we just have placeholder text for everything else on the page. So as you'll see, we're working here within these guidelines that were created with the ruler. I can send this file to you and you can just use those guidelines, reuse this file, copy it and save it out as something else. What we're going to do, like we did yesterday, we're going to start out by saving this as a subpage so that we do not make the mistake of saving over top of the home page. So I'm going to go up here and go to File and then Save As, and we're going to save to, we are actually saving it to the mockup folder right now in the drive. I'm going to call this, let's see, subpage. We're doing the practice area subpage. So practice area subpage. So practice area slash subpage slash mockup. Okay, so we're going to save this out as a PDF file, and we're going to save this out, say save PDF, save it out as an Illustrator file as well. Save as, and I have a different folder here. I have one for AI files and one for PDF files, and save those out as a PDF file or AI file. Super easy. Just go down here, click AI, same title, and then save into your AI folder. Okay, now we have this. Okay, I'm just going to click OK. Okay, now I have the wireframe. I believe I sent this one to you as well last week. For the, not the general practice areas, but when you click, actually, it's when you click on one of the general practice areas, it should take you to this page. Now this is the page that we're going to create today. So we'll start out by just going to the first one here, medical malpractice. Now each one of these on the home page are going to be clickable. So when you click on this, it's going to take you to this page that gives you medical malpractice is the general area, and he's got all of like a whole bunch of other parts that have to do with that. So again, I've got everything right here. We're going to use the same wrapper, the same header, and the same footer. And as you can see on the wireframe, we are going to keep the contact form here at the bottom. And all we're going to do is we need to keep that icon over here so that the viewer knows which page they're on. We'll have a heading up here at the top. This is going to be really similar to the layout that you just did with the bio page. We'll have a centered heading here at the top, a place here for paragraph text, and then a little line above the paragraph text, and then we'll have some bulleted columns that we can just label all of those lorem ipsum for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by just getting rid of this and this and all of this. We don't need, actually, you know what, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to keep this. Move this up to the top. So we need a heading. We want to keep this the same font size that we had down here anyway. So we're going to keep that. And we also need, let's see here. So the problem here with this design is if you have white in the background and you've got white in the header, you don't know where it stops and where it ends. So we really do need to have something behind here so that you know where the header stops and where this ends. Now, since the header and footer are both white, we're going to use this green background like we did yesterday. And we're just going to pull this up to the top here. Okay. You don't want this white bar. We'll delete that. I see something behind there. We'll delete that. Okay. And then, let's see, pull this up here. We don't need all of these icons. We're just going to do one practice area subpage for now. It's going to be the medical malpractice, so I can get rid of all of these. Okay, so now we have the H1 heading like we have over here. We need some paragraph text to the right. I want this to be the same size and everything that this is up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and then bring this down. And we want to follow these guides here. So I have this centered. I'm moving this out. And then we're going to move this up here. Okay, we don't need this arrow. Highlight that, delete that. Okay. Okay. Now this here, I'm going to take this, so this isn't going to stay the same as it is on the home page because we want the symbol to be there, but we want the, this is, taking you here. We want the symbol to be there, but we don't want people to think they can click on it again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this image here and take the eyedropper tool and highlight that as blue. Okay, and we're going to get rid of the circle here behind it. So now we've got, again, you want to use, hold shift, use this, okay. So now, and then we're going to get rid of this paragraph text up here for right now. Delete that. Each one opening paragraph. Okay, that up. We want this to be aligned with that. We're going to get rid of this paragraph text below. This is going to be, we'll call this medical malpractice. Okay, so here we are. This is the medical malpractice page. Oops. And then we can probably just get rid of that heading there. And then we don't want this down here below. Delete all of that. Delete all of that. Okay, I'm going to left justify this. Make this a little bit larger. Bring this down, staying in the guidelines here. Okay. And this can actually be a little bit longer too. This should be, a paragraph, maybe two, that discusses that. So I mean, that's something that we can save content developer to do. But now what I'm going to do is we've got this individual subpage. Now what I'm going to do is create now these bulleted columns, and then after we get everything on here, we can go back and decide if we're going to want to tweak this and if we want to add or move, like, you know, after you start doing the mock-up, if you realize things in the wireframe don't completely look the same, you can always tweak that. So, but for now, what I'm going to do is create these columns. So I'm going to copy Command C and then Command V. I'm going to copy this text, delete that, delete the rest of that. No, I'm going to keep some of this here, delete all that. Okay, so now this font matches this font size. So what we've got here is we've got one centered column. Okay. Make sure that all of these are left justified. Okay, so we've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 lines for each one of these. And over here, you can actually create a bullet point by going under Type and then Insert Special Character, Symbols, and then Bullet. Okay, and then you want to add some space in there, so you can do like a tab, or, you know, that seems like a little bit too much space. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to space bar with the space bar, just 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay. Now I'm going to highlight all of that, Command C, Control C on Windows, okay, and then paste that. So if we want to have 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and now those are really close together. I want to space these apart, so I'm going to highlight all of that. And then I'm going to go up here to character. Okay, now this is where you can adjust that. So we've got 14 point, we want some space in between this. So we're going to go, see what 21 looks like. Okay, it just shifted it like that. So now we've got a little bit of space in between each one of these. We could maybe go even just a little bit more and see what that looks like. I'm going to go from 21, go back up to character, go to 21. We're going to go now down to 24. I'm going to click on 24 and watch what happens over here. So we have more space now between each one of these. Okay. Sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of space because it gives your, you know, eye some breathing room. You want to stop the eye, read this, and notice everything's different here. Okay, so now we want to add 2 more columns like this. So I'm going to just highlight that like that, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it in front. It's Command F on a Mac, Control F on Windows, and then just click it and drag it over. Okay. So now you've got that. Right now it's just generic, so Command Control C, Control F, click it, drag it over, make sure you hit Shift while you're doing this. I'm doing it with one hand, so you have to click Shift when you pull it over, that way it will stay like, okay. And you've got this one centered here, and then you've got to, you know, just make sure that you've got equal amount of space so it's staying within the grid. we could possibly move this over so that it lines up underneath here, and that this lines up in between here. Okay. So there you've got, and this, you know, could possibly even come in a little bit here so that this stays nice and neat within these boundaries here. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we want to close in all of this empty space. What we're going to do is highlight all of this, okay, and then we're going to bring this up here, okay, and now you've got it. You've got I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. You've got everything here. So now this is over here. So now this is your medical malpractice page, and we can tweak this too in the process, but this is just a really simple page that goes into, I'll show you. If you go to David Hunter Law's website, we're going to go to David Hunter Law, David Hunter Law Firm. No, it's Texas. David Hunter Law Theory. Okay. So here we are. This is, if you just Google David Hunter Law Erie, this will show up. So this is what we just did. So if you look over here, you'll see these are everything. These are all of his specialties. Okay. And these are broken down into general categories. So we're trying to make it easier for the viewer to get to the site and understand what he specializes in. And instead of listing all of the stuff out immediately as soon as you log on to the website, which is what he has right now, we're going to make it a little, cut it down, break it down, make it simpler for the viewer to digest. So right here, obviously you can see it starts out medical malpractice, and this is everything that falls under medical malpractice, okay? And this is personal injury, and this is everything that falls under personal injury. Vehicle accidents, this is everything that falls under. So we're turning all of these into the icons, and then we are breaking them down. So we have, this currently is what he has for his medical malpractice subpage. Okay, so we can borrow some of this text, or we can edit that, but we have a place over here for text. And currently, if you go to Barber National Institute, this is where we're getting some of these. Barber National Institute. You'll see this is, they have the icons here, okay? And then when you click, you go to a separate page. Let's go to another one. National Institute, and then there is Belmont. This is another one that has this Belmont Savings. Okay, so we did their website too. Same sort of thing. So you have all these little icons. You've got this beautiful header. You've got all these little icons on the home page, and then if you wanted to learn more information about the general things they offer, you click on that, it takes you to a separate page. Now this is really similar to what we just created over here.
After talking to Dave, I decided to improvise.